Hi guys, it's Kai and welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a little while since I last posted on this channel. I mean, for me, it hasn't even really been that long. Like, what has it been, 2 weeks? But every time I'm gone for like more than 10 days, you guys are like, have you died? I think you guys just have these expectations of how frequently a YouTuber should be uploading, and in my case, you guys just need to take those expectations and bring them a little bit lower. But in good news, I'm back with another wig tutorial. So this one is sponsored by Celie Hair. They sent over these blonde bundles. I decided to watercolor the hair blue and paint a darker root just by hand. So I'll show you what colors I used. For the main blue color, I used the Ion Color Brilliance in Aqua, and then for the darker root, I just used the blue color from Wella color charm paints. So I got 2 of both of these just to make sure that the color was really vibrant, and 2 is really more than enough. And then for the style, I got this new cute little tool from Sally's. I had so many points racked up because I swear I'm like their best customer. This is a cute little deep waver tool that I used for the style, but you'll see how I did that and everything else in full detail because you're gonna see how I did all of this from start to finish. So let's just get started. Alright, so we are starting out with bundles of straight 613 hair, and we've got 22, 24, and 26 inches, and a 20-inch frontal, so that when we put it all together, it's going to give us this cute little layered look. I went ahead and I sewed the wig off camera to save us some time here, since I've already done a video all about the whole process of sewing your wig together. But if you want me to make another detailed video about that process, let me know. As for the hair quality, the bundles were fabulous, but the lace frontal was really dense and the hairline, as you can see, was very blunt. I had to go in and do quite a bit of plucking to make it look more natural. Maybe some people prefer that if they want to do all of the customization themselves. It's not really a huge deal to me. Maybe if you're a beginner and you don't want to do this extra step, you can go out and shop for a pre-plucked frontal. Another thing that stood out to me was this odd yellow tint to the lace, which was pretty odd, but once you cut all the excess lace off, it doesn't really make that much of a difference. I think I still made it work. As you can see, this is how the hairline is now looking after I did some tweezing to it. Much less harsh, much less blunt. So now I'm going to begin the dyeing process. So I bought 2 shades of blue dye, a lighter blue and a deeper blue for the roots. So I'll apply the lighter blue all over using the watercoloring technique. I did some test strands to figure out the best way to approach this, and I decided I would tone the hair first using some purple shampoo because I don't want the blue to be sitting on top of the blonde and it coming out green. I really wanted a true blue. So the purple shampoo, the idea is that it'll tone out the yellow in the hair. So get that hair wet first and then lather the purple shampoo in. You only have to leave it in for like 2 minutes and the hair turns super platinum, almost silver if you leave it in for longer, because it already started out as a very light bleached blonde. So then before breaking out the dye, I'm taking this time now to coat the lace with Vaseline to act as a barrier from the lace being stained. And you guys, I tried out some of your tips to use the Got2b gel or the conditioner to protect the lace. I tried them out on other test strands, but nothing worked as well as Vaseline, so I'm sticking with this. As you can see, I'm squeezing about half a tube of my lighter blue into some hot water and mixing it up with a whisk. I really recommend you buy yourself a whisk like from the dollar store because mixing this with your hands is just not going to be the same. You really don't want to risk leaving clumps in the water and getting it patchy on your dye job. You really have to make sure it's totally homogeneous before you dip your wig in. As you can see, the first time I dip the hair in, immediately it goes to this light blue / turquoise color. Instead of using all the color in one go, I resolved to do multiple sessions of it, and each time I'm really massaging the back of the wig, especially in the roots because the hair is just so clustered back there that it's harder for the color to really seep through. And by this point, the solution in the tub, you can see it went from deep blue to just becoming all watery. So I really don't even set a timer for how long I keep the hair in because when I can see that there's no more color in the water, that's how I know when to stop. Depending on how your wig's looking, you can dump out the water and mix the solution together again with more dye, more hot water until you get that desired depth. See how some parts are still coming out a little bit lighter, a little greener almost? I repeated this 3 times so I could really get that true blue I wanted all over the entire wig. So afterwards, you're going to want to rinse out the wig in cold water. I didn't shampoo it because I knew I was going to dye the roots and have to wash it again right after this. I just used conditioner until the water ran clear, and then I let the wig dry overnight. So now here is how she's looking, and now the next step is to apply a darker blue color to the roots. So I started with the back of the head, and I took the hair weft by weft and applied the color to the front and the back of the root, going only like 3 inches down. This took a lot longer and was much messier than the watercolor step, but that's just what you have to deal with if you want this shadow root. Some wigs out there are only rooted along the hairline, which I find weird. I reckon it's because whoever made the wig decided it would be too much work to root it all over, and maybe they didn't really mean for the wig to be worn in ponytails or styles that would really expose the back anyway. But the wig really ought to be rooted all over if you're gonna be in depth about it, and of course I just had nothing better to do. When you get to the lace, you have to be more careful with it. So I actually start in the back and work my way up. And when I get to the lace, I approach it differently because you want to get as close to the base of the hair as possible without getting color on the lace because it might stain. So my tip is to go from ear to ear and just take super thin sections. The first time I did this, I think I might have actually been too careful about it, that I barely touched the hair at all, and it just didn't turn out to be as deep as I wanted. So I went in a second time and I really packed on the color. That tissue that you see there, by the way, is just to separate the frontal part from the rest of the wig because I didn't want any of the non-root hair to accidentally fall there and touch the root color, if you know what I mean. So I let this sit on the hair for about 30 minutes and washed it out and let that dry, and this is what we've got now. You know, I feel like I'm always just using my curling wand or straightener, so I wanted to mix up the style this time, and I bought this little deep waver tool. My idea was to get a crimper, but I guess these are too big to be crimps. It took me forever to do the whole wig, but you basically just start at the top and go down little by little, lining up the previous row of waves into the tool so it all just looks continuous, if that makes any sense. Didn't really know where this was going. I usually always finish the style on my mannequin head, but I just wasn't feeling it today, so I decided to put it on my head and style the rest of it as it was on my head, see if that would help the inspiration flow. So what you're seeing here is me gluing the lace to my forehead. For quick applications like this, I just use the Got2b hairspray. It doesn't leave this buildup and residue on the lace after I'm done, which is what I love. It is a little bit messy to apply. You have to spray it on and then blow dry it until it becomes tacky, and then you can lay down the lace and press it in. You might remember I commented earlier on how the lace looked a little bit yellow from when I received it in the mail, but I just used some powder over it and you can see it just melts right into the skin. So with these waves, you can see I avoided running a brush through the hair. You can see I just used my fingers to comb through it. So I'm sectioning the hair with the end of a rat tail comb, and I'm doing two little ponytails at the top of my head. And then I didn't like how that turned out. I don't know where I was really going with it. So I rummaged through my hair drawer and found these two little donut bun shapers. I thought I'd give them a try. Lots of you guys have requested this so-called space bun style for a long time now, so I guess that's what we're doing here. I tried at first to sit the bun shaper at the base and then wrap the hair around that, but that looks very messy, as you can see. So after quite a bit of fidgeting around, I sort of got the hang of how it's meant to work. You want to start by brushing the hair. Yes, it ruins the crimpy wave, but for the buns, it's okay to lose those. You put the bun shaper through the hair and you bring it to the end of it, and you have to keep turning it inside out and through itself. So the hair on the inside gets weaved through to the outside. And you have to keep spreading it around like the 360 degrees so it covers the entire bun and you don't see the color of it. I also used some hairspray throughout the whole thing to help the hair stick to the bun. Now, I had two in two different colors, so maybe if I was doing this again, I would color the bun with some sort of blue paint to make it really seamless. And maybe I would use more hair in my ponytail so that there's more hair to cover it up. But I don't think it looks that bad. So once you get it all the way down to the base, you can use some bobby pins to secure it down and just angle it right so that the two buns look symmetrical, at least to some degree. But that's how I styled my hair. Alright, so this is how it all turned out. This is what it's looking like from the back. Let me stand up so you can really see how long this hair is. Just to show you the length of it, this is how far down it's going on my body. I feel like a diva and a mermaid and a Muppet all in one. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll leave all the links in the description so you can try this out on your own. Speaking of which, here are some artists who've tagged me in their pictures. So thank you so much for the tag because I love seeing these pictures and I love seeing how talented you guys are and how you take my advice and then just do something totally and completely different that I could not have even imagined. Let me know down in the comments what kind of hair you want to see me try out next because you guys are always pushing me out of my comfort zone and making me try new things. But until next time, thanks again for watching. I hope you guys are all doing well and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!